Could Pat Riley be retiring after the season? There are some hints and rumors out there that might point to the fact he is going to do that. We are going to talk about that on today's show. I am Nic Rohloff. This is the Heat Report by Chat Sports. But before we get into Pat Riley, we do got to show love to Tyler Herro because last night the Heat beat the Los Angeles Lakers by 41 points. 134-93. It was domination, and Tyler Herro absolutely went nuclear. And if you are fired up for Tyler and are happy that he's taking that next step forward for the Heat this season, hit that like button on today's video. 7 3-pointers in the third quarter, absolutely ridiculous. And I just wanted to show his stats over time. He really did go 7 of 8 in the third quarter from beyond the arc yesterday. He didn't play in the fourth quarter at all. He was actually having a pretty bad game, if we're going to be honest. He was like 4 of 11 from the field, 7 of 8, 2 of 8 from three-point land at halftime. And it's like, also paired up with 4 turnovers, you're like, well, this is a bad Tyler game, and the Heat are still up by 17. And then he put the nail in the coffin for Los Angeles. Like I mentioned, only took 8 shots in that third quarter, all of them from beyond the arc. 7 of them went in, 31 points for Tyler Herro. One of the most unreal shooting performances I've ever seen in a quarter. Listen, we've seen Steph Curry, we've seen Klay Thompson go off in these stretches, and that's kind of what it felt like I was watching. I mean, how rare is it that we see a player make 7 straight three-pointers, all of them coming in one quarter in like a 5 to 6 minute span? That was unbelievable to watch last night. And I believe Herro really does deserve consideration for an all-star nod. He is averaging 24 points per game this season, 4 threes a night, shooting 45% from 3 and 45% from the field. Like, it's been really good for Tyler, and he's outplaying guys like Tyrese Maxey, like Jalen Brunson statistically. Like, the only guards that could be put ahead of him in the all-star voting, in my opinion, Damian Lillard, LaMelo Ball, Donovan Mitchell was the third guy I was thinking of. Like, there is a legit case for Herro to be an all-star. Will he be an all-star? Probably not, but he deserves to be. All right, let's get over to the Pat Riley rumors now. Is he retiring? There are some things, man, that caught my eye on him potentially retiring. Why could he retire? Well, he is 79 years old, and I don't know how much longer he wants to be working in this Heat organization. He's been here since 1995, was obviously the coach of the Miami Heat for a long time, and then became president in 2008 when Erik Spoelstra took over. And another reason why I think he could ultimately end up retiring is Jimmy Butler could opt out of his contract at the end of the season, become an NBA free agent, and maybe Pat Riley kind of lined up his end of his career with the Jimmy Butler era. Like, as soon as Jimmy and the Heat part ways, maybe that's when Pat Riley leaves the organization. Maybe that's this year. Maybe it's in 2 years when Jimmy Butler has another contract. I don't know. But either way, I think those two could be lining up their departure from the Heat organization on the same timetable. But also, then you add in this to the equation, and Bovada puts out next Heat president/GM odds, which I don't know why they did this. Like, it's odd to me. Andy Elisburg, Erik Spoelstra, Adam Simon, Nick Harrison, Bob Myers, the top 5. But, like, the reason why I wanted to show this is not because to bring up names, but why is this being put out? And I'm not going to claim here that Bovada has inside sources on Pat Riley stepping down after this season. But when you combine this with a couple other things that we're going to talk about in just a second, like, it becomes interesting. Like, why are there odds out there for next Heat president/GM in the middle of the season right now? Right? Like, it's a little odd. You at least could admit that. But let me know what you think. What say you? Do you think Pat Riley is going to retire after this season? Type Y for yes or type N for no. It's today's pinned comment. So you get hit with a YouTube ad break, scroll down, let it play, and answer it down below. I really do think he may, and it's the reason why I'm putting this video together for the Heat fans, because I feel like I've kind of unraveled a conspiracy, or like a coup, if you will, down below. Like, I really do. And like, some of the other reasons why I believe that this could be coming is, well, think about this happening this season already. The Los Angeles Lakers announced just a week and a half ago that the Lakers are proud to announce that Pat Riley's legacy will be cemented with a statue outside of their arena at the Star Plaza. Like, What? Like Pat Riley is getting a statue this season from the Los Angeles Lakers? That sounds like some end of the career type shit. And then also when Pat Riley goes on the OG's podcast with Mike Miller and Udonis Haslem, yes, former players and kind of works with Udonis Haslem now inside the organization, but like when was the last time Pat Riley has gone on a podcast in the middle of a season? Has it ever happened? Like, I can't remember. Like, before, sure. After the season, sure. But, like, in the middle? Like, it's very odd behavior from Pat Riley. So, when you have the odds of a next president slash GM, the podcast, and then him getting a statue, I feel like I'm putting pieces together here on him potentially calling it quits after this season. And we'll talk about what that could mean for the Miami Heat in just a second. But we are sponsored by Game Time, the number one way to get your tickets. And if you want to go see the Heat play in person, or you want to go see any other live sporting event, comedy show, concert, theater, this is the only way to get your ticket. They have so many great features like Game Time Picks, which filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have also a couple other features that I really like. All-in pricing shows you the total price of your ticket up front rather than getting blindsided by fees at checkout. You get a panoramic view in the app of your seat before you buy so you know exactly where you're sitting. Not going to have to worry about sitting behind a billboard or stanchion or a pole or anything like that. And luckily for you, they have a great deal this holiday season. When you download the app and use promo code CHATSPORTS, you get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, first purchase only, but download Game Time, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off your first purchase. Link is going to be in the description and comments of today's video. What time is it? It is game time. All right. I want to put a bow on this conversation because putting together some of the pieces, it really does feel like it could be the end of Pat Riley in Miami, either this season or the year after. Like, it's an end of an era in Miami whenever he ultimately calls it quits. And I know we like to joke about Pat Riley sleeping and not making any moves in the offseason, not making trades, and some people call for his retirement for never addressing the point guard position long-term or the long-term power forward spot. But it is going to be an end of an era. Pat Riley is probably the number one most influential person in this organization's history. Like, you could say Dwayne Wade, you could say LeBron James, like you could say Erik Spoelstra, but Pat Riley becoming the head coach in the 90s, delivering this team their first title, being the president, getting LeBron Bosch to join D Wade in Miami. Like, I don't know. Like, I think he's the most like influential person in history outside of the owner, Mickey Arison. So like, it really is going to be sad when he ultimately does retire, even though some people might call him out for not doing a good job. And if he does retire, whether that is this season or next season or the following year after that, who should replace Pat Riley? I think that's a conversation that should be had, and we're going to have it on the back end of today's video. The first candidate that we will talk about is Erik Spoelstra, the current head coach of the Miami Heat. We've seen this happen time and time again. Brad Stevens went from head coach of the Boston Celtics to GM / president, and now he has been the number one executive, in my opinion, over the past 2 or 3 seasons. He has been absolutely spectacular in Boston. We've seen Pat Riley go from head coach to president GM, so it feels like it could be the next logical step in Erik Spoelstra's career. But we won't talk about him in depth today. Who we will talk about in depth a little bit here is number 2, Adam Simon, who has been with the Heat organization for a very, very long time. His current role within this team is the vice president, basketball operations, and assistant general manager. He has been with the Heat for 29 seasons. He is also really large in the scouting department. He is one of the biggest advocates and names inside the Heat, finding talent inside the NBA draft, finding talent in undrafted free agency. Like, when you hear all of these successful stories like Max Strus, like Gabe Vincent, like Caleb Martin, I think you should point to Adam Simon ahead of anyone else. I think he does the most in that scouting. There's a reason why he talks to the media on draft night when the Heat make their selections with Khalil Ware, Jaquez, Jovic. Like, he does all of this work. And I have him as my number 2 guy if Erik Spoelstra wants to remain on the sideline. He is someone who has had experience with player personnel, scouting, drafting, and makes him a logical choice to become the next president and GM of the Miami Heat. Number 3 is Andy Elisburg, and you saw in those odds that Elisburg was even odds and making him the favorite. I have him as my 3rd candidate. I would rather have Spo, I would rather have Adam Simon, but Elisburg, it would be a good option as well. Right now, his role is Executive Vice President, Basketball Operations / General Manager. He's been with the Heat for a very long time, since his inaugural season in this NBA landscape. And what does he do on a day-to-day basis? He works with the salary cap, talent acquisition, day-to-day business of basketball operations. Him, Pat Riley, Adam Simon, those are your big 3 inside the organization right now. And if the Heat ultimately did have him or Pat Riley retire, I think there is no questions about it. The Heat would go with someone inside the organization already to be their next president / GM. Elisburg would be a fine candidate because how good he is with the financial side of things inside the NBA. When you see the Heat jump around the salary cap and really find loopholes in the CBA, it's because Andy Elisburg is really good at his job. I think he would be someone I would be fine with being the next guy to lead this organization. I just think there's other good names out there. But let me know who you would want. If Pat Riley retires tomorrow, who should be the next GM / president full-time? Who would you want to replace Pat Riley? Drop a name down in the comments section. It's Erik Spoelstra. It is. There's a reason why he was the number 1 candidate on my personal list, and I think it would make the most sense for him to make that jump from the sideline into the front office. Like I mentioned, we've seen it happen with Brad Stevens. Pat Riley did it. And I think Erik Spoelstra, knowing what it takes to win in today's NBA, being on the sideline, knowing how and what it takes to win, would just make him the most logical person to make the decisions at the personnel level. Now, would I be upset with Simon or Elisburg? No. I think Spoelstra would be the number 1 guy, in my opinion. But then that will beg the question, who replaces Erik Spoelstra as Heat head coach? Well, I think I have kind of uncovered who it is going to be, and it's Chris Quinn, who is an associate head coach for the Miami Heat right now. He's been on the staff in Miami for 10 seasons. He has interviewed for multiple head coaching jobs already in the past with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Los Angeles Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks. He has been on the Heat as a player in the past, and I think it just makes sense to elevate Chris Quinn. He has actually been a head coach for Miami in the past. When Erik Spoelstra missed 3 games, Chris Quinn coached those 3 games, went 2-1 in those 3. That happened a couple seasons ago. I see the vision. It really, to me, makes a lot of sense. Everything will just stay inside this group and inside this organization. Pat Riley retires. Adam Simon and Andy Elisburg keep their roles that they currently have. Erik Spoelstra goes to being the president. Chris Quinn becomes the head coach. He already has the respect of the current players, would have the respect of outside players as well. Everything stays status quo. To me, it just makes the most sense. And if Pat Riley ultimately does retire, it would not shock me one bit if you see all of these things that I laid out come to fruition. I feel like I have just uncovered the master plans of the Heat organization. And when this actually happens, at least in the offseason or maybe next year, I want everyone to come back to this video because I am going to say that I called it and predicted it, which is why you subscribe, because we got our finger on the pulse of this team, this organization. We're live for almost every Miami Heat game. We got videos in between games, daily content here at the channel, so hit that sub button.